Reading the news. Seriously? That's the
fecal matter
that goes viral these days. That's the most pertinent vaginally derived brain rot we're to concern ourselves with in 2024. Maybe I should have stayed away.
But where would I get my dose of positivity?
Good point, Cupcake. All right, let's do this.
Yay!
XYFM. The news.
America. A vacuous OnlyFans
working girl
has
quack
fucked 101 men in a day for attention and then cried about it, with the
female supremacists
now blaming men for the emotional fallout of her ill-conceived decisions. I won't bother you with the details because if you're a red-pilled smartphone owner, you probably heard it all already, but as it is often the case with man-hating harpies, the unenlightened yapping and baseless demands for recompense have long since departed from the realm of reason, with some of the screechy uber
term for a multitude of sexually promiscuous females generally considered derogative.
not just demanding atonement, but are calling for the incarceration of the man who had followed her mating call. So you want an apology? I'll give you one. I hereby apologize to all the men who participated in this silly publicity stunt for you not having had a father in your life to teach you that your dignity, your sovereignty, and your very life are just as valuable and just as worthy of preservation as those of any priestess of the holy vagina. It wasn't your fault. And the world might not care about your dignity and self-respect, but I do. Which is, of course, utterly useless to you because the person to whom these things should matter the most is you. And I'm sorry that I'm too late to give you this information when it would have mattered the most. But hey, better late than never. Stay safe out there and remember, men are human too. America. So this is called the Trust Your Wife Challenge.
Trust my wife.
And just aim for the... Let's go for it.
If you are still so naive and ill-informed in 2024 to even want a woman in your life, you will in all likelihood need to acquire a certain skill. The skill to utter a very particular word. So let me be of service and give you a little training session on that particular utterance. Now speak after me. No. Nah, almost. Let's try again. No. Still not convinced. Now, once more with feeling. No. Yeah, much better. Now, keep practicing. Use a mirror if you like. But, of course, it's more fun with a partner. Call upon a fellow simp and take turns telling each other no. And keep practicing until you, hearing yourself saying the magic N-word, no longer fills you with shame. And then practice some more. And then some. It just might change your life. You're welcome. United States. The Salvation Army now doesn't just demand, kindly requests, your hard-earned money. Now, if you're white, they want a sincere apology for your racismism. Firstly, if you're still blue-pill enough to think giving money to charity helps people, spoiler alert! It doesn't. It only helps the people facilitating the charity. And secondly, please, I beg of you, let this be another one of those times where this woke
fecal matter
causes the company that excreted it to lose so much support, it turns them into a footnote of history. United States, the hook tour girl has burned $450 million of her fans' money. Not defrauded, no. Burned, destroyed, rendered worthless, made to go poof by having them invest in her meme coin that crashed as quickly as it rose. After having a good laugh about it, she just ended the stream and went to bed without much fanfare. No pun intended. With the internet now having a laugh at all the people foolish and thirsty enough to throw money at that dumb broad. Some even lost their life savings to this
fecal matter.
And this brings me to a question I still struggle to answer. Where do I draw the line between thinking of a simp as a brain-rotten fool and as dangerous and shun-worthy as any garden-variety feminist cunt? Gracious female, don't fool yourself. A simp will call you friend 1 minute and strike the match to blow your life asunder the next if he thinks it might score him a pat on the head by a priestess of the holy vagina. And thinking of him as a red pill brother in the making. As a red-pilled fairy, privy to the plight of modern men, we are, under duress, forced to pretend is utter fiction every time we leave our little internet safe spaces. I vowed and am, in my not-so-humble opinion, morally obligated to extend compassion to men. All men. But at what point do I withdraw that compassion and permit myself to roll my eyes and join in on the laughter and ridicule that his actions have brought upon him? Because last time I checked, she didn't make you
Urinate.
your life savings away on something that smelled as phony as a lot lizard that had ran out of wet wipes at
Pew pew.
point, now did she? Well, there is destructively stupid and there is malignant. There is being so darn stupid that you don't even understand that your behavior is causing harm to others, and there is knowing perfectly well that your behavior is causing harm to others, but you simply can't get yourself to care. I'll leave it to you what camp you wish to sort Lady Saliva into. I used to be pretty darn blue-pilled myself. I've done a lot of dumb and humiliating
Fecal matter.
in the pursuit of my happy ending. Far too often and for way too long. So I can't help but wonder if the only reason I never
Urinated.
away my life savings in a desperate attempt to garner the attention of some,
The donkadongs.
or in my case, was because I never had any savings to
Urinate.
away in the first place. A man I trust and respect recently said it is time we start shaming Sims for their behavior, and I can see how one might feel that way. We used to shame women for their despicable behavior, and it worked for a long, long time. But in regards to deploying that particular tactic on Sims, I am frankly at two hearts. Because, after all, it was all the shaming, gaslighting, ridicule, abuse, and neglect of their selfish, grandiose, morally bankrupt, and flat-out vile and disgusting single mothers that got them so hopelessly addicted to the abusive attention of any random set of knockers that comes their way in the first place. More devouring mother.
Fecal matter.
So again, I'm sorry, brother. I am sorry that you had to grow up in an environment that prohibited you from developing healthy boundaries and a fair modicum of skepticism where it concerns dumb broads with a platform. On the other hand, it's not that the MRA and subsequently MGTOW weren't shouting it from the rooftops for decades now, that women are simply not to be trusted. Welcome to reality. Oh, and if you are finally sick and tired of having parasocial relationships with drooling
Term for sexually promiscuous female generally considered derogative.
who despise you and feel ready for some genuine friendship, join us at XY Crew. Link in the description. Oh, and to those of you deluding yourself that she's gonna go straight to jail for this one, we currently have an innumerable amount of
Unalivers,
Child-
ravishers,
and
bodily autonomy disregarding,
gracious females who
permanently immobilized, unalived,
their husbands or boyfriends in their sleep who got let off because vagina. So you really think they're gonna punish a celebrity harlot whose crime was taking money you gave away of your own volition? Good luck with that.
Oh my god, that's like so negative.
Oh, hello, Cupcake. I missed you. Oh, and Merry Christmas, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. So, are we still doing?
Yes, Cupcake. We'll still be doing your bit.
Yay!
XY News. Dose of positivity just for Cupcake. Probably America. An entitled vegan bride turned on the sprinklers when her wedding guests, whom she not informed in advance of the nature of the sustenance provided, ordered pizza despite her having provided, and I quote, a 5-course gourmet vegan meal.
term for sexually promiscuous female generally considered derogative.
There's nothing gourmet about mushy peas. Grow the
Quack.
up. And since we're on the topic of steamed vegetables, probably America, in order to fully appreciate the cuteness, wholesomeness, and positivity of the next clip, we have to suspend our disbelief for a moment. Now that President Trump is back and finally ripping into the vile scam that is the food pyramid, I finally feel empowered, yes, I said empowered, you'll get over it, to be more upfront about nutrition. Most plant matter is of zero or negative nutritional value. All right, disbelief suspended. Cool. 3, 2, 1.
All right, take a deep breath. Oh no, it says you have room for 2 more broccolis. You have 3 left, but you only got to eat 2.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, all that toxic masculinity. Disgusting, isn't it? Almost as disgusting as broccoli. America. Daniel Penny has finally been acquitted of all charges. I won't say justice has been served, because they pushed it way beyond the point that would have been just and reasonable, and we all know he won't see anything reinstated or compensated for. He lost in the process of the courts having a laugh at his expense. But hey!
Positivity.
Thailand. These two strapping and striving gentlemen have been detained for a minor traffic violation. Given what we already know about policing in Thailand, let's have a guess to what dire straits they have gotten themselves into. A. A female cop currently out of frame felt minutely inconvenienced by the two men's audacity of drawing breath without her permission or approval and shot them both. B. They got thrown into a windowless room with a dozen strangers and a bucket, where they have been waiting for a hearing since 2007. C. The Vaginisty has decided that participation in traffic is white supremacy and had both of them extradited to the United Kingdom to stand trial for hate crimes. Or D. Their recompense was something so benign it borders on too silly. Yes, Cupcake.
Is it D?
Yes! See for yourself. They got sentenced to the most jerky set of jumping jacks I've ever seen. What color is your passport? United States. A man in California has been awarded full custody of his son after his mother tried to turn him non-binary. I guess the Vaginisty won't be cutting into this one to satisfy their castration fetish. Now that's what I call positivity. And that shall be enough gushy feel-good nonsense. America. A stupid bit, gracious female, got interviewed by a news outlet I hitherto never heard of about her most recent vaginally derived brain fart titled Petromasculinity. Basically conflating men being aware that climate change and alternative energy are utter bogus, having voted for a man whom they perceive to be sharing the sentiment, and their favorite vapid buzzword, toxic masculinity. Okay, so after having watched our fathers get destroyed by our mothers, watched all the things we were promised would come of hard work, failed to manifest and then be shamed for not succeeding in a rigged game, watched what little dignity we had left be burned on the altar of diversity, equity, and inclusion, not to mention having been taxed to hell the day we sold our time for worthless paper, and watching the biggest economic and military power in the world be run by a demented muppet for 4 years, with the prospect of getting now taxed into whatever comes one floor down from hell, by a communist prostitute whose puny mind resides on the bottom of a bottle, voting for or being in favor of a man who promises to halt the decline, alleviate object suffering, and has a track record of improving things wherever he treads, doesn't make you someone who simply wants to be able to afford to eat. No! It makes you a misogynist with an unhealthy emotional investment in the extraction of fossil fuels, cause that makes you think of your wee-wee as bigger than it is. Or something, because vagina or whatever. Got it! If this
Fecal matter.
gets any dumber, we have to add talking to a female with intended no outward signs of grueling agony to the list of strong indicators for acute simpinitis. United States. An entitled female Democrat House member has declared it critical to fund the use of female crash test dummies to assure road equity. And before you yet again try to seek refuge in the assumption that I'm just making
Fecal matter.
up in a misguided attempt to preserve your unhealthily naive perception of our gynocentric space potato, listen for yourself.
Including the critical funding that would accelerate the development, and this is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety and crash victims.
You're aware these useless broads are paid with your tax dollars, right? This particular annoying and useless waste of space with
The Donkadongs.
had her shriveled claws in your pocket
Since 1991!
Get out while you can. Germany. Thousands of cultural enrichers have continuously been disrupting Christmas markets all over the country. Why is that relevant to a male-centric satirical newscast? Because we all know who voted for this.
Fecal matter.
Get out while you can. Germany. Again. A woman convicted of offending a migrant gang
Unsolicited caresser.
receives a longer prison sentence than the
Unsolicited caresser.
himself. Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to use that line again, so here it comes. Germany, still FM. Sorry, guys, you're just.
Quack.
United Kingdom. Misogyny is henceforth to be treated as extremism by the UK government. Mind you, misogyny is anything and everything a female deems it to be as she pleases on any given day. In case you haven't been paying attention, saying things like, men and women are different, or
Unsolicitedly caressing.
children is bad, online now gets you tossed in the pen for 20 years or more in this safe and sane utopia of justicial excellence. So on the off chance that you are paying attention now, get out while you can!
Channel 69 XY News.